Black Lightning, Black Lightning, Black Lightning, Black Lightning. We're so excited about Black Lightning. And we're going to talk about other things too on CW Weekly.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, Afterbuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, I missed our theme music.
I know. I was like, what do we really do? I was trying to remember it, and it was like...
It's been a hot minute.
In the face. Oh, yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody.
2018.
28 lean for me. I'm on a
Hey,
diet.
I know that's
lean.
right.
All right.
Let's give it a high five on that one.
I wore my Black Lightning shirt, but I got my holiday weight in it, so I put on a hoodie. So it cuts out my love handles, everybody. Because #truth.
Just kidding. He doesn't have any.
Yeah, well.
I'm sitting right next to him.
I appreciate it. We're so glad to be here. I hope you had a great New Year. I have Kathleen Turner voice today. I'm recovering from a cold, so I apologize. I'm not taking more testosterone. I probably should. But we're so glad to be here. Obviously, Black Lightning is premiering next week, along with other CW shows. So we're going to be talking about all that today. My name is Matt Marr. Welcome to the show. You can find me on all my social medias at the Matt Marr, and you can listen to a Riverdale podcast I do at tvttime.com. And Erica.
Hello, everyone. I'm Erica Shannon, and you can find me on Twitter at Miss Airy Baby. And I'm so happy to be back.
I'm happy to be back, too. We're very happy to be back. So we're minus Tiona and Alikona. They got lives. They're figuring it out. They're not here right now. No, actually, we should get the info. Alikona is going on. She tours with a monster truck company, and she's like the MC for monster trucks, which makes sense when you know Alikona.
That's kind of
it's kind of. So I should get that info for her because she's traveling all across the country. So maybe you can go see some monster trucks and see Alikona. I loved Bigfoot.
And say what's up.
Say what's up. But how about your New Year?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was quiet.
Okay.
You know,
Mine too.
I was doing a lot of this.
Doing a lot of.
If you're listening, I'm referring to my hair. I have it in braids.
New hair, don't care. We love it. I love it.
Just living, honey.
Does it feel different?
No.
No, you're like whatever.
No.
All right. Well. All right. Well, I had a very, very lazy New Year's as well, and it was great. I think every CW show is premiering next week. I don't think we've had any new premieres this week.
We have had some new premieres. If you follow me on Twitter, I actually did tweet out the premiere dates for this month, and I actually missed Valor, I believe.
Ah, okay.
It was last week, which I don't know why any shows were premiering on the 1st.
I feel like that means it's not getting ratings and they just want to get it done.
Well, another show
true?
from a different network premiered that same day, and I was mad.
That's
So
true.
sorry for everybody if you followed me and I didn't catch the Valor premiere. Sorry about that.
CW's kind of weird this weird. Like when they did the Arrow Thanksgiving episode, like on Thanksgiving, and nothing else was on Thanksgiving. It was odd. Doesn't make sense. But anyway, let's start off the show with our normal. We have, let's talk about our trivia question.
Yes. So sticking with the Black Lightning theme of this episode, I think it's going to be, we know that Cress Williams will make his debut as Jefferson Pierce on Black Lightning next week.
He's so hot.
But what other CW show was Cress a part of most recently? Was it A, Life Unexpected, B, Heart of Dixie, C, The Game, or D, Reba?
Oh, God, I love Reba. I grew up 40 minutes from her. I met her when I was 6.
Okay. How long has it been? How many minutes have we gone before the first name drop of 2018?
Take a shot.
Does anybody have it?
Anthony,
It's been 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Wow, I think that's a record. Okay.
I love Reba. Okay.
It was a good show. I liked it.
It was a good show. So, but what's the answer? Live Unexpected, Heart of Dixie, The Game, Reba. You'll find out at the end of our episode. So let's just jump into some casting news, shall we? Are we ready? Right? But before thank you for reminding me. We have a little write-up here that we wanted. We really didn't plan on having a Black Lightning episode today. We really are just so excited about this show. And I didn't read all of it because I didn't want to. This isn't in our notes, so I'm improvising now. Yes, and me. Black Lightning. I didn't want to read all of it, but I read one of the reviews. I think from the New York Times or LA Times, but like they're all across the board saying it's so good. Everybody's saying that it's not only so good, but they're saying like it's different, I think, than other CW shows in that it's tackling a lot of things that are happening now with like Black Lives Matter and also tackling issues, which I'm super excited about. That, you know, this is a CW show where the main character is middle-aged. You know,
That's
it's
true.
not a teenager, and we don't have a lot of superheroes that are represented that aren't, 23 and buff,
And parents.
parents. So, but they talked about all that, how it just got across the board. So, yeah, because also too, that I think they said in the notes that there hasn't been like an all African American cast on the CW since Everybody Loves Chris.
I was
guess
gonna
that
say
was on-
probably since the game. I think the game lasted longer than Everybody Loves Chris.
Yeah.
Or Everybody Hates Chris.
Everybody hates Chris.
I think everybody loves
Everybody hates
Raymond,
Chris. We love
but
Chris,
everybody
but the show
hates
hates.
Chris.
Well, we messed that up.
Well,
all right.
you know what we're talking
we know
about.
What we're talking about. But so we have a little bit. We have a little funny thing to read about Black Lightning.
So on January 16th, when the CW's newest superhero suits up, lightning's gonna strike. Don't miss the electrifying new series Black Lightning. Black Lightning, aka Jefferson Pierce, had previously powered down his crime-fighting career for the last 9 years, had been saving lives the best way he knew how, as a principal of the local high school.
But in this city, when the hero's away, the gangs will play. And this dude's a family man. So when his people get caught in the crosshairs, it's time to take charge. Now, the former hero is back in full force for a second round against corruption and violence because lightning does strike twice. It's dark days for the city of Freeland, but the storm is coming when Black Lightning brings his power to the people.
Not only will the series Black Lightning spark you up, but also the soundtrack is full of slammin' hip-hop cuts like songs by Rome Fortune and old school hits from blues singer Nina Simone, Bobby Bland, and the great Isaac Hayes. On January 16th, the world will know Black Lightning. Series premiere after The Flash, only on the CW.
Yeah. I'm glad you read that part because I would sound really white saying hip-hop tunes. I just feel like, although I love Nina Simone and Isaac Hayes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that. I love that. So, yeah, January 16th, Black Lightning. We're going to be talking about more about the show. But first off, let's talk about some casting news. Okay, so Rosario Dawson is coming to Jane the Virgin.
Which is interesting because she spent the last 2 years of her life being a part of Marvel shows.
She finally got
nonstop.
free. She did the Defenders, and she's like, I have a life. And so, which I love. She's
She
great
escaped
on there.
Netflix land.
She did escape Netflix land. She's everywhere, though. She's everywhere. Just spilled water.
I was
on the
about
show.
to say, I'm so clumsy.
Erica just spilled water on her show to everybody, but it's all right. It's just water.
It's all right.
So Rosario Dawson's coming to Jane the Virgin. She's going to be. She just announced that, I believe, in the back half of season 4. Now, we don't have any details of what her arc is or who she's going to be playing. And really, she did so many film credits. Do we have a Rosario Dawson picture? I don't know if we do.
Should. Yeah,
There she is. There she is. And so pretty. So pretty. I think she was the voice of Wonder Woman once in an animated thing.
I don't know, but I do remember her being, I think she was Melanie in Josie and the Pussycats. I can't remember, but it was a movie with Rachel Lee Cook, I believe, and Tara Reid.
Oh, I didn't see that movie.
She was one of the Pussycats.
Oh, that's
If
hilarious.
you've never seen that movie, go back and watch it. It's
we
funny.
should have saved that. That would have been some good Riverdale trivia.
Oh, well, it could still be.
We're
You
going to
have
do
to
like
be paying
2 months.
attention.
You're not going to remember. So, and also, just so you know, if you're interested in Jane the Virgin, which I know many of you are, it's such a great show, it returns from its holiday hiatus on January 26th. And it has 10 episodes that are going to be going largely uninterrupted until Friday, April 13th. So, there you go. Rosario Dawson is gonna be a virgin? No, that was a bad segue.
It could be
that was
because
just-
we don't know her arc.
Just go. I'm terrible.
But moving along to the originals, we actually have 3 new castings. So Jamie Murray is set to join as a character named Antoinette. And she's a quote-unquote old school vampire. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means she just sucks and doesn't care. Does she bite and is that wrong for me to say? Does she just chomp on necks and doesn't care? Is she like a Stefan? Is she a Ripper?
She's a vampire whore. She sucks and doesn't care.
What does it mean? But she's gonna meet Elijah shortly after he loses his memories, and her flirtatious free spirit actually masks dark secrets about her painful past. That's according to TV Line.
Okay.
And she should be showing up in the 3rd episode. Now, fun fact about that
Everybody
episode.
has a dark past on the CW.
Of
Nobody comes to a CW show new and they're just like, hey, they're like, I'm a veterinarian. I love dogs and puppies and people. That's it.
How else are you gonna get that CW smolder?
I know. It's true.
You gotta have
the smol-
something
you gotta have
in
the
your
smolder.
background.
Anyway, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Fun fact about episode 3, that's the episode that Joseph Morgan, who plays Klaus, directed.
Oh.
So that's cute
That's
that
cool. That's cute.
he gets to welcome somebody on to the show
Oh, good.
by telling them what to do.
That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do is tell everybody. That's what Anthony does with us. He tells us what to do.
All the time.
All the time.
But 2 other characters, Torrance Coombs, and I don't have a picture for either of these guys, sorry. He's going to be playing a character called Declan, and he's described as a flirty Irish chef to whom Haley takes a liking. So I guess Haley and Elijah, if you follow the show at all, are no more. And I guess that makes sense because they've been apart for the past 5 years or 10 years or however long. Oh, yeah. But a new guy is catching Haley's eye. Hey, look, I rhymed.
Oh, you're a poet and don't know it.
Go me! Pat
Go
on my
you.
back.
Go you.
And Jedediah Goodacre, he's going to be playing a character named Roman who actually will have some interest with Hope Michelson, who was the youngest Michelson, the reason why everybody had to split up, basically. So he's going to be a charming vampire who takes an interest in Hope after a, quote, mysterious incident occurs at her school.
Okay.
So just wetting your whistle. 3 new people for the last season
All mysterious.
of the show, but,
All with secrets.
you know, with the originals, it's going to be good.
And all suck and don't care.
At least Antoinette,
At least
I'm
Antoinette.
thinking. We're silly tonight.
Sorry, y'all. I'm on Sudafed and a prayer, so it's gonna be bad jokes.
That's great. I'm ready for him. Now, over on the 100, we have a new villain. The actor's name is Mike Dopud, I believe is how you pronounce it.
It's a weird last name.
And he's going to be playing a character named Vincent, who is one of the inmates that landed on the pirate ship. I'm so sorry.
Erica, I
The
like your
prison
hair
ship.
and I'll plunder your booty. Whoa, that sounded bad.
It was a prison ship, so you never know. And what's interesting is what I've read is these criminals have been on the I almost said it again on the prison ship for 100 years in like some deep sleep. So they missed the first nuclear bomb that happened. And so they're going to wake up and be like, where is everything that we're used to?
There's like, where's Toronto?
Exactly. It's
Toronto's
no more.
gone.
And he'll be playing a ruthless serial killer
Oh.
that looks more like a professional than a professor than a hardened criminal.
Okay.
So he's going to be able to like confuse you. He could be like a con man and then slash you.
It's like, okay. You know, most of them are.
Yeah.
I think,
What was that movie with Christian Bale?
American Horror Story.
American Psycho.
American Psycho. I felt so wrong by being so sexually attracted to a killer because he's so hot in that movie.
I mean, wasn't that the point though?
I know, but I was like in early college. I was just having feelings about coming out, and I was like, "What is?" Sorry, we went to me, but it was a lot. Now, but you know, I met Christian. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
I didn't. Oh wait, no, I did meet Christian Bale.
No.
I totally forgot. I totally forgot. I met Christian Bale.
No, moving right along.
No, I sold his wife bronzer at the
the
Clinique counter, and my hands were shaking. That's all I want to tell you.
I am shaking my head. We're not going to do this in 2018. We're cutting the name drops down to 1 an episode.
I name dropped it. I didn't even know I name dropped. I totally forgot I meant Batman.
Who's coming to the Flash?
All right, Flash. Speaking of villains, the Thinker, poor Anthony's just shaking his head in the booth right now. I'm sorry, Anthony. But the Thinker is not the only villain coming to the Flash. Apparently this season, I thought the Thinker was going to be the big one. But the Flash is actually stealing a villain from Green Arrow lore. A villain, her real name is Veronica Dale, which is interesting because in Wonder Woman there's a Veronica Cale. So I thought that was like, they just were like, hey, let's just change a letter. But who is the villain? Hyrax. I believe I said it right. It's Hyrax. And so... this is a little casting thing I'm going to read, just kind of like a breakdown of who the character is. And it said, Veronica Dale, mid-20s to 30s, a female environmental activist back when she was still sane. So now she's cray-cray. And she turned animal liberator turned domestic terrorist, who's the leader of the Eden Corps, which is a cult-like organization that proposes to turn back the clock to the pre-industrial age. And if millions of innocent people have to die in the process, well, that's just tough. Says large principal, which means big role.
Yeah, which I'm thinking means she might be another bus meta, possibly. That's what I thought when I first read it.
Well, it's interesting because in Green Arrow, the character of Hyrax had a romantic relationship with with Oliver, and so it was this complicated situation. And she strapped a bomb to Oliver that was going to blow up over Metropolis, but he detonated the bomb. So she only has, like, it says, like, I don't read Green Arrow, but it says that she only has, like, 4 comic book appearances under her belt. So it's not like she's huge in the Green Arrowverse. So, and, you know, something that is cool about CW is I love that they're bringing as a comic book fan, I love they're bringing comic book characters that are kind of on the fringe. But something I don't love, and we'll talk about this later when we talk about Legion of Superheroes, which I had a beef with, is that sometimes they kind of throw out the backstory almost altogether and they just pick the name of the person, which annoys me.
Which kind of makes sense with this character, too.
Yeah.
Because
so
she's not even a part of the Flash
Exactly. So
world.
they're just kind of like, okay, let's use them. So... Anyway, I have feelings about it. I don't know how I feel about it.
I was going to say, are we getting our grievances out of
yes.
this
but
tonight? Because
you know
I have some.
You know what gets feelings out, though? Our hottie of the week.
Okay.
Woo, woo!
Go for it.
Okay, this year, and it's a girl, you know what, and I picked her. I just want to say, again, I just went with the Black Lightning theme. I want to say Vanessa Williams, but it's not. Sometimes it's no. Sorry. Nefessa Williams. It's Nefessa Williams. Who's actually from, I think I wrote Black Panther in our notes, but it's Black Lightning. I'm so excited about both of these things, actually. Did you read that Black Panther, by the way? Sorry, sidetrack, but pre-sold more tickets than any Marvel movie.
I did hear that, and I was one of them.
And I haven't bought them yet. But
you better hurry, because they're going.
I'm mad at my boyfriend because we were supposed to go see Thor in the theater, and he never got around to it, seeing Thor 1 and 2. So I still haven't seen Thor Ragnarok. It's upsetting.
You gotta go.
It's upsetting.
You gotta go.
And now I've got to wait for the Blu-ray. Anyway, so let's talk about Nefessa Williams.
But I was gonna
She's
say,
beautiful. Body in that dress.
Didn't they just release a image of her as, I think her character's gonna be Lightning or Thunder? Which is she gonna be?
I think she is. Maybe they know in the chat, but I feel like she is Thunder. I just picked that picture because she's just gorgeous. I mean,
yeah, she's really beautiful.
Yeah, the dress was banging. I wish I could wear a see-through dress.
You can.
Yeah,
What's stopping you?
It doesn't look good. You see my Spanx.
You
or
know
not Spanx.
what?
I have assets, the cheap ones you buy at Target. I can't afford Spanx. So
I mean,
anyway.
that's fine. Just get them black. You'll be all right.
Just get a black. So, all right. So
do what you want in 2018.
Do what you want in 2018. 28 lean. All right. So let's talk about some gossips and some news, some pop culture, and just other random things because we're going off on tangents on this episode.
Yeah, and we're not going to stop.
And we're not going to stop because I'm on Sudafed and Erica has new hair and we don't care.
Yeah, we don't care.
All right, iZombie, let's talk about it.
So we're talking about the new premiere dates that we've gotten for iZombie, Life Sentence, the originals, and the 100. Now, there's going to be some shakeups, so stay with me.
Take notes.
iZombie is going to premiere on Monday, February 26th, which will take the spot of Valor.
Okay.
On Wednesday, March 7th, Life Sentence, the new Lucy Hale drama, will premiere, taking the spot of Dynasty, which, and I'm just going to combine those
actually,
two.
we have another night. I was going to my next big so Dynasty's moving to Fridays now?
Yeah, so that same week that Life Sentence premieres, Dynasty gets pushed to Friday.
So in Dynasties, we'll go to, which was renewed for season 2, I believe.
Was it? I was trying to follow
I feel like
up
it
with
was.
that.
I remember. There was, I feel like it was.
I know it was given the second half order of episodes.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking
But I
of.
don't know if it's
I don't think
actually
we know
gotten,
for season 2
and I know
yet.
that they have that deal continuing with Netflix that it's going to
Yes,
pop
it's going
up
to pop
there.
up. So, but Dynasty, yeah, that's going to start at Fridays at 8 p.m. on March 9th.
Yes, and then the originals final season will premiere on Friday, April 20th.
Okay.
And then the 100 will premiere Tuesday, April 24th, which will take the place of Black Lightning, which we already know from the last episode in December that is going to be switching off with Supergirl, which I haven't been able to find any more information on that. It's still super confusing.
Somebody's smoking crack at CW with this scheduling. I'm sorry.
It's just bouncing. Like, this show's moving here, and this is bouncing there, and it's just...
It's like dating. You have to be
confusing.
consistent. You have to, if you're a guy, you have to keep calling the girl. You don't call once, and the trust is gone.
Yeah, and you know what? Just put it in your calendar So it'll remind
I
you. You don't even
guess.
have to think about it. And
Somebody should make an app.
I was gonna say
for
in the
this.
chat, Red King is confirmed that yes, Nefessa will be thunder, and then
Yeah.
China will be lightning. So the other sister will be lightning.
I'm so excited for this show.
We all come back to Black Lightning.
I
It's
know.
great.
We do all. Let's get tattoos. I'm not.
With that,
Yeah, that would be a
On
cool
your shirt?
tattoo. That would actually be a cool tattoo, wouldn't it?
Matt has the.
I have the
describe
Black
it.
Lightning shirt on.
If you
See?
can't, if you're listening,
If you're listening,
it's
it's
a
just
gray
two lightning.
shirt with
Yeah.
lightning bolts on it.
Imagine. All right. Well, let's speaking of other weird things kind of happening with CW in the Arrowverse.
I was just gonna say, speaking of grievances,
We're bitching this episode. Sorry, everybody.
Speaking of
You know what? Because we
grievances.
love you, CW. Greg Berlanti, listen to us.
So we've already talked about it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and it's official that Deathstroke is once again off limits for the Arrowverse, which is very annoying because, as we all know, if you haven't seen it, one of the end scenes of
Spoiler
Justice-
alert.
one of-
Spoiler alert.
One of the end scenes of Justice League shows Joe Manganiello as Slade Wilson or Deathstroke.
Yes.
And so because of that, we cannot have Deathstroke pop up in the Arrowverse again, which is weird because you have two Barry Allens.
I was going to say, we
You
have
have
two
multiple
Flash. We have two Supermans.
So leave Slade where we love him on Arrow.
I think DC's shitting the bed a little bit on that. I think they
A
should.
little?
I think they should have done more what Marvel did and just make it all continue. Well, then I get they have a Flash TV show. I get it. Still.
But it just
or
doesn't
keep
make
it.
sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. So that's my grievance.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying, per Screen Rant, the first half of season 6 was the last that we will see of Slade, at least for the foreseeable future.
Really sucks because that actor was great. Their chemistry is great. We just got introduced to his son.
Yep.
And kind of what's going on with this. So when is the last we're going to see him again?
We already saw the last
no.
when he walked away.
So is that why they introduced his son to now it's going to be about his son?
I mean,
Who's
that could
really
be
hot. I follow him on Instagram. He has some amazing abs.
that could be a great place to take it, but I don't know if that was their original thought process. But some interesting information. Apparently, there was a plan for a Suicide Squad arc to be in the Arrowverse with them joining Diggle somehow, some way.
That'd be cool.
But when the David Ayers movie started production, they scrapped that. So it's just like
I bet
but I don't
bet they're
understand
angry.
how some characters get to stick only with the movies and some get to stick with both the movie
It's why are
and
we
the TV
picking
show.
and choosing? Yes.
Right.
And it's odd too because they're picking ancillary characters. Is that no? Is that the right word? Did I just say that
Where
word?
are you going?
Anthony, what does ancillary mean?
I was going to say, where are you going? You might be using the
Or
wrong
maybe
word.
secondary characters. Maybe that's what I mean.
Okay.
Because they're not using prime. That's what I'm saying. They're letting primary principal characters be Flash and Flash, Superman and Superman. But yet the ones who aren't necessarily huge characters, they're putting a nix on those.
Yeah.
Does anybody there's not going to be a Deathstroke movie? You know what I mean?
At this point, who knows? There might be.
It would be I
think they're
It'd be like if
doing-
they say you can't use Booster Gold.
I think they're
in film and
doing
television.
a Deadshot movie. And if you remember, Deadshot was early Arrow, season 2?
But I thought Deadshot is Marvel.
No, Deadpool is Marvel.
Deadpool is Marvel. Yeah.
Deadshot is
Deadshot's actually in Suicide Squad.
the Will
yeah.
Smith character.
I
Will
still haven't
Smith's
seen that
character.
movie.
And so what I heard is that they're planning a movie for just Deadshot.
Oh,
But that's the reason I think Deadshot in Arrow left.
left.
Or he died, I think. I think he
guess.
sacrificed himself. But it was because they're putting him in a movie. It's just confusing.
It's confusing.
So annoying.
We're confused. All right.
Oh,
all of that.
according to Zias, thank you everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Zias says actually there is a Deathstroke movie in development.
Oh wait, I did know. Yes, with Hottie McWolf guy
Yeah,
from
Joe
True
Manganiello.
Blood, who I have to say, I think will be really freaking great. It was great in the movie. I think it's great cat, but still.
I mean, he was great for the 2 seconds we saw him. And also for casting, I did forget this, but Wally, Jesse Quick, and Jay Garrick should be showing back up in The Flash. And people are speculating that Wally's going to end up, and maybe even Jesse might end up going over to Legends.
Oh really?
Because he has nothing to do on Flash.
Oh.
And you can't have 3 speedsters on The Flash, so maybe you push 1 or 2 to Legends.
I feel like I almost, because I like that Jessie Quick actress, and so much stuff is being female driven now. I think it'd be cool if we had like a female driven speech, or even maybe not show, but at least arc.
Yeah,
I'd be down for that.
it would work
Yeah.
if we stick. Like if she goes back to Earth 57 or whichever Earth she came from,
Whichever.
and we follow her for a
Yeah.
little bit. That'd be cool.
I would like for her. It'd be cool to see like her to pop over to Supergirl too.
Oh yeah,
Right?
that would be nice.
Greg Berlanti, listen to us, Greg Berlanti. Stop it with your cute husband, Robbie Rogers.
Tweet him.
I will tweet him. All right, what's next? Is it mine next? Or
Yes, it
we're
is.
talking about Viagra Diaries now, everybody. So
I like that little pause you
well,
gave.
you know, I got to tease. So Jesse Conweiler, who's from credits include Meet the Rapist and The Skinny, has signed on to pen the series and adaptation and executive produce the Viagra Diaries for CW. Now, I don't know anything about the Viagra Diaries. Do you?
I don't. I just know it's a book.
Yes, it's based on a book by Barbara Rose Booker, and it centers on Kit, who's a gorgeous new intern in town who gets the break of her lifetime when she poses as the online avatar for her literary hero, Annie's a 40-year-old journalist fighting to stay relevant. Annie must keep her true identity hidden just as her writing finds her a new worldwide audience, and Kit gets all the credit. So that's basically what it's about. Wow, I was expecting mysterious dark past. I did not get that.
They're trying to take it in the new direction.
Yes. Conweiler also executive produces with Aaron Moore and Brian Medavoy, who's from American High, and Just Shoot Me. Just Shoot Me was a really funny show. Alan Nevins and Susie Unger are also on board to produce. If you don't know Conweiler, she was famous for writing, directing, and starring in a short film called Meet My Rapist. It's a comedic exploration of her own experience with sexual assault. Didn't know that.
Nope.
That's an interesting take of what everything is going on right now. So,
what do you think about for the description of the show? How does it sound to you? It sounds complicated.
Yeah. I mean,
so you have this one girl who gets the break of her lifetime portraying herself as somebody else because the somebody else is trying to connect with a younger worldwide audience.
I was bored by it. I don't know. Maybe I need the dark secrets.
Maybe.
It honestly sounds kind of anticlimactic. Like, oh, you're a fake person online and you got really popular.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it makes me think of...
It's not a big problem. What movie, what were every single 90s movie about somebody? It's like...
Where are you going?
It's like Ladybugs.
That's the second time you dropped that
I
movie
love that
on the
movie.
show.
I love that movie, even though it's sad.
But I was just thinking of and I'm changing networks, but a Law and Order SVU episode with Anna Chomsky. I don't know if you know who that is, but she was on My Girl.
My Girl, yeah.
And then she was on Veep. I don't know if she's still on Veep.
I've heard she's great on Veep. I want to watch Veep.
She was pretending to be like the author of these very 50 Shades of Grey type books when it was reality somebody else writing them. That's what it gave me.
Okay.
So, but that only lasted one episode. That lasted 60 minutes. How are you going to make this into a whole show? That's my question. Not to say it can't work, but my inspiration for that comes from a different show that only lasted for 1 hour.
I don't know. I probably won't watch it. I'll be honest, unless everybody tells me to.
Yeah, Kimmy Sylvester in the chat is saying it's confusing and awkwardly.
Yeah, I agree, Kimmy.
But who knows? We could be very wrong.
Look at us. We are Judge Judy's today.
We could be very wrong.
You can't get a lot past us. We're professionals. What's next?
I was going to say, Matt, do you think it's been enough time? Can we go back to Black Lightning?
Yeah, let's go back to Black Lightning. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Well,
I'm going to get angry again.
Executive producer Salima Keel is basically saying that don't worry or worry, depending on who you are, Black Lightning will not be part of the Arrowverse. Now, question for you. I'm going to give the details in a second. Question for you. Did you see that new spot for the CW superhero shows where it's everybody suiting up?
No.
And Oliver, and they've got Oliver and Wild Dog, and Barry comes in late, and Kara comes in late, but they can be really fast, so they get... Yeah. And then at the very end, it's like, you hear this voice, and he's like, they always forget the new guy, and then he like charges up and whatever.
Oh, that's
that
cool.
makes me mad because he's not part of the Arrowverse. So why? I mean, I get why you would put him in the commercial.
You see him in the commercial?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I get why you would put him in the commercial to just say the superhero shows are back. But if he's not going to be in that world, and I guess that was the point of keeping him separate. I just
Well,
have an issue maybe with him not being a part of the world, but as I'll explain, there's a reason for that.
there is. I mean, there's the. Explain the reason, then we'll talk about it.
Basically, what Salim Akil, who's the executive producer with his wife Mara Brock Akil, they're saying, he says, I say this with all due respect, they're not really relevant to the show that we're doing. We really wanted folks to get to know this family before we started branching out. So they want, like you were saying a little bit earlier, they want to establish Black Lightning, they want to establish Jefferson Pierce with his family, with his kids, before there's even talk of putting him as a part of the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
Which I get, but it would have just been nice to see him interacting with Oliver, with Barry, with Diggle, you know, as parents.
I mean, technically, Supergirl's part of another universe, so that could happen. And so, I'm torn just because I would like to see that too. I think that. You know, I'm reading actually year 1 right now, Black Lightning, the comic book, and it's really great. And so, the town of Freeland, I don't know if they're going to portray it in this, but it's actually like it's like kind of like the across the tracks area of Metropolis.
Okay.
And they talk about how Superman never goes to like the black part of the town and like his help. So they bring that in. So I think that would be really cool to talk about like a really allegory with what's happening with Black Lives Matters and like how are people feeling about trusting superheroes, especially white superheroes and race and like, you know, because I think I could see an interesting arc of somebody like, you know, Barry trying to come in and save the day and how that actually is not working out the way he intended. So I'm bummed about that. I do understand though from a production as somebody, you know, who works in production that this show does shoot in Atlanta. So every other show shoots in Toronto.
Yeah.
And
Or in Vancouver.
In Vancouver, I'm sorry. And they talk about this and the thing like when the first when Supergirl filmed in LA, there wasn't a lot of interaction, and even my friend who's a producer on the show talks about how like it's just a freaking mess getting this all together and scheduling everything. So I want to take it personally and emotionally a little bit, but another part's like, well, okay, I think it really is almost more logistics. And he just gave, I think, a good like kind of. I think that's great. They want to establish a show, but still, I just think this could be such an allegory for what is going on right now in our culture in the United States. And so I would like to see that.
I didn't know that part about Freeland being near Metropolis.
Well, again, that's in the comic book.
I'm going to
I
bet
hope it
that
is.
that could be a part of it.
I hope it is. I think it would be really, really cool. But we'll see.
And even in the chat, Red King is saying the Arrowverse is a mess, so I'm actually glad it isn't a part of it.
I can't argue. I can't argue with you.
But Akil also did want to credit Warner Brothers and the CW for the support that they're giving them on this show. He's saying from a studio and network standpoint, the Akils were told, you've got to do this the way you want to do this. You're going to live and die by that, and we support you. So they're giving the Akils full reign of this show in the direction that they want to take it. And that's the best way to do it.
That's the best way to do it. And I also, just in the previews of the show, I almost feel like one thing that I think is really starting to happen, like, I know I'm white, but I am gay, so I do have somewhat of a minority status. I've been like, but it's different. But I do know what it's like when gay movies first came out, and like it was always like gay characters having to deal with coming out in a straight world and like how they deal with straight people. And a lot of like movies and film and television that are quote unquote about black people, like The Jeffersons was great, but The Jeffersons is about how they live in a white world. And there's still, that's kind of continued. Even people could argue it's really good, but you could argue that a little bit about Blackish. Whereas I love that, like the movie Moonlight, or like what it looks like in this show, and also it looks like in Marvel's Black Panthers. It's like we're in a predominantly African-American world, and we're dealing with problems in the African-American, that community. And
or in
not
terms of
like,
Black Panther, literally African community.
Yes, African. And so it's not having to deal with kind of like, I just like that. I think it's a different take, and I think it's a lot of stories that haven't been told in that type of way.
That's true.
I don't know.
That's true. So I'm going to
Sorry, we just got deep.
settle back in my opinion about it not being a part of the Arrowverse, and I'm going to actually appreciate it for what it will present.
You know what? I
the
just
world it
convinced
will
myself
present.
too.
Yeah.
I'm on board with it now. I convinced myself I didn't even know it.
Victor Ortega is asking Flash beyond Black Lightning. Matt was just throwing that out as an example.
Yeah.
Not actually wishing for that to happen.
That's not happening. Sorry, I'm coughing, everybody. I'm trying to get over my cold. Okay, so Black Lightning, we love it. Watch it, January 16th on the CW. All right, let's talk about some Supernatural spinoffs.
And the TCAs in general were this past Sunday.
Yes.
And the president of the CW, Mark Pedowitz, was there, and he gave thoughts on a lot of the different CW shows. And specifically with Supernatural, there's no official renewal news, but what he said is as long as the boys keep wanting to do the show, there's going to be more Supernatural.
How happy did that make you?
That made me excited, even though I told you what
I can't believe you're going to admit this on the air.
I'm going to admit it because, life is real.
Hashtag truth talk.
As my college friends would say, life is real. I haven't caught up with this season so far of Supernatural, so I'll wait for it to show up on Netflix and then I'll just binge the whole season. But next season, actually, if they have a 14th season, they'll cross episode 300. Wow. Which is amazing. It was amazing to get to episode
so much money in residuals
100.
for the rest of their life.
I mean, it's already on TNT, every day.
Yeah, and then it's going to go to, the Sci-Fi Channel, and then, in 20 years, it'll be on MeTV.
What is that?
Oh, it's I watch the Carol Burnett shows on there. It's like
say,
Bewitched.
Like
it's
TV Land?
Only grandparents watch it and me.
That used to be TV Land, which I used to watch.
No, not TV Land.
No, but I'm saying what you're describing is what TV Land
I used to watch
used
TV Land, yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch TV Land too.
Yeah, I did too.
So about the potential spinoff, Wayward Sisters, that backdoor pilot is going to actually air next week.
Okay.
January 18th. And about the show, Pedowitz is saying that it has the opportunity to work, and he referenced one of the former potential spinoffs, Bloodlines, that he said didn't work out so well. In terms of, speaking of spinoffs, in terms of the Hope Michelson spinoff that people are questioning if it's actually going to happen, Julie Plec, who is the showrunner or the creator, series executive producer of the originals and The Vampire Diaries, is currently working on it. So it's nothing official yet.
Okay.
Moving along to Dynasty, the ratings, Pedowitz says, have been disappointing. He said, I wanted it to do more, but I'm happy with the production values that Josh Schwartz, Steph Savage, and Sally Patrick are doing. When Valor, the ratings for Valor, he said it didn't resonate with the audience like he thought it did, like he thought it would. But then he also said, well, there were about, I think he was quoted as saying 87 military dramas, even though there were only 3. But he just felt like that was the one show that would have, pushed through. So he was hoping it was going to be on for 6 or 7 years. And he's not saying that to say that it won't be renewed. He's just saying that when May comes around, they'll take a hard look at it for scheduling purposes.
I think I also read in another article when I was pulling up stuff, this is in our notes, but he said that in all confidence, they haven't gotten around to it yet, but all superhero shows, the Legends, Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl will be renewed.
Yeah, it's very likely.
Yeah, he said very likely.
And similarly, he said that about Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and Jane the Virgin.
Yeah.
I believe, too. And then I also saw something that said, don't be worried about the 100 either.
Okay.
Even though that's more of a late spring, summer show.
Well, those pirate ships are going to get those ratings.
Yes, about those pirate ships with those prisoners that speak in English from 2017.
All right. Let's go on. Okay, let's talk about Paley Fest. Have you ever been to Paley Fest?
I think I went one year.
It's really fun.
For something honoring Dick Wolf.
Ooh,
because
that's
I'm
a good
a huge
one.
Law and Order, those shows.
SVU.
Mm-hmm.
SUV, as I used to call it. As I'm sure a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know what the Paley Fest is, the Paley Center, actually, I know there's one in LA in Beverly Hills and there's one in New York. But it's kind of amazing. You should go. They do different exhibits, but they have basically anything that's ever been on television since the dawn of television. They have it. So, yeah, really. And they have, it's a library. So they have museums and stuff and cool exhibits. Like I went and saw the Wonder Woman costume Linda Carter had. And they had the Friends couch and all that kind of stuff.
Really?
And stuff from Big Bang Theory. But then they also had they have these little just like a library. You could go in and just type on a computer and kind of check out whatever you want to watch. Like my friend loves Days of Our Lives, and she's never seen the very first episode from like the 50s, and she went and watched it.
Oh, that's probably
So
awesome.
yeah, it's really cool. So if you're into that kind of stuff, go to Paleo Fest. You can come and all that.
Fun fact, it's not a name drop, but I work down the street from the Paley Center in Beverly Hills.
Oh.
I've just never walked in. I've walked past it plenty of times.
Oh, you totes need to go, and it's not that expensive. I've gone and see they'll do.
What's not that expensive? Be real.
No, I mean it's like. Wait, is the museum? It's like $10 or $15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I was
It's not
going to
bad.
say, not that expensive in these days. You never know.
But Paleo Fest tickets are a little different story. So it's cool. They have big panels. My friend, I'm name dropping again, but I'm only saying like I got to go to the Flash panel, which we see the picture of right now from last year. I got to go to that panel. That was like the Flash, Supergirl, and it was a really cool panel to go to. So there's going to be more. They have Paleo Fest, which is like a big events. So there's a bunch of stuff. You can check it out. Just Google a Paleo Fest. There's like the Orville and Will and Grace and all this kind of stuff. But as far as CW stuff, they're going to have on March 20th is going to be CW Supernatural. So maybe you'll want to check that out on the 20th, Supernatural. And then on March 25th, they're doing Riverdale. So, and you can check out all this information at paleyfest.org. And if you're, it's PALEY fest.org.
And I was going to say it's going to take place March 16th through the 25th.
Yes.
At the
yes.
Dolby Theater in
Oh, yeah, I'm
Hollywood.
sorry. It is in Los Angeles, so that is in LA.
And fun fact, Supernatural has actually been there twice before. They were there once in 2006 and then once in 2011.
Oh.
So they're returning for the third year. I wonder why they choose only so many years.
I don't know.
That seemed, and really looking at that, what is the word? The
schedule?
itinerary. Thank you.
Itinerary.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. That seems light.
Yeah.
It seems really light. It doesn't seem like a lot of shows.
No, it doesn't. Okay. So we're going to jump ahead just for time. But so real quick, if you're a Riverdale fan, you might want to check out on YouTube Shane Dawson, the YouTuber, who's in a little bit of hot water right now, but we don't need to talk about that. But we can talk about he has an interview with Madeline Petch, and they're talking about Riverdale fan theories. She puts a nail in the coffin on that. No, Cheryl and her brother Jason have no romantic entanglement, and she explains why. So be sure to check that out. We also have some new picks from the Legion of Superheroes, which are going to be on Supergirl. And so, as a comic book fan, Legion of Superheroes, big part of the lore of DC Comics, really big earlier in like the 50s and 60s, and it kind of fell out of favor. So right now we have a pick. This is going to be Mon-El, who's going to be in his costume. And then the next picture we have that's Saturn Girl. And then last but not least is Brainiac 5, who is the spawn of Brainiac and as Brainiac 5, and who is good as well. I'm excited to see these characters, but I do want to say not at all what their costumes are like at all, like on the show. Like Saturn Girl on Smallville was much more kind of what Saturn Girl is in real life. So I'm hoping they keep some semblance of who these characters are, but I don't know. Anyway.
And that's what you were saying earlier.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So let's talk about our Throwback Thursday.
Our Throwback Thursday, in honor of it making its appearance for the 24th season on a different network. It is America's Next Top Model. And I don't know if you can see the picture, but on screen is a picture of Tyra Banks and my favorite season winner, season 4, Naima Mora.
Oh.
And I loved her because she was like racially ambiguous, so she could fit basically every
that's cool.
every photo shoot that they did.
Oh, that's cool. Models. They have such pretty faces.
And just in case you were wondering, the show originally aired on UPN from 2003 to 2006 and then moved to the CW from 2006 to 2015. And now it's on another network that we don't talk about.
We don't talk about. But we do talk about trivia. So, Cress Williams making his debut as Jefferson Pierce in Black Lightning. What other shows has he been on? Life Unexpected, Heart of Dixie, The Game, or Reba? What is the answer?
We had somebody in the chat guess B, Heart of Dixie.
And was that right?
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding,
You
ding,
are
ding, ding, ding. You are
correct.
correct.
Kimmy Sylvester. It was Heart of Dixie.
Look how cute he is
He
in his
played
hat.
mayor of Bluebell, Alabama, Levon Hayes, and he had an accent, and he was a
Oh
football
my gosh.
player.
I bet he was so hot.
Came back as the hometown hero.
I'm going to watch that
He
episode.
had some romantic entanglements with one of the ladies in town.
Mmm.
And
Heart of Maddie.
we actually didn't get our ship poll up
We didn't.
today early enough.
didn't.
So we're actually going to give you the entire week. to make your vote.
You got the whole week.
Options are Caramel, which is Monel and Cara, of course. Bughead for Betty and Jughead from Riverdale.
Yes.
Destiel, Dean and Castiel from Supernatural. And Live Well,
Let me have that.
Olivia and Lowell from iZombie.
I put that one because I texted you. One of my friends is still upset about Lowell getting killed. She wants to bring him back. So these are kind of like, what do you want to see in the mid-season? These ships. So be sure to follow us on AfterBuzz, the Twitter on AfterBuzz TV, and give us a poll, and then we'll announce it next week. So that's it. That's our show. That's what we did it. Erica, tell everybody where they can find you.
If you have any other CW news that you'd like us to cover, don't forget to hit me up on Twitter at Miss Airy Baby. That's MISSERIBABY.
BY. And I'm Matt Marr. You can find me on social medias at the Matt Marr, and you can find my podcast, The Dear Maddie Show, or a Riverdale podcast called TV Tea Time at mattmarr.2ts. Or mattmarr.tv, 2 T's, 2 R's. Good Lord, I can't speak. And if you listen to the show, we love you for it. And a big thing you do, especially if you listen to the podcast, if you listen on iTunes, leave a review on iTunes. That means a big deal. All you do is scroll down, put 5 stars, right? Like, we love them, even though they go off on tangents. I love them. That would be great for us. And be sure to be back next week. We're going to have a lot to talk about because it's the premiere of everything we love in the CW.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good week. And you guys, we love you, and we'll see you in a week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Black Lightning.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.